So I hope that you have seen the last video. So in the last video we have discussed about the law. Now we are going to discuss the limitation. So what is the limitation of this law? That is the law of octave. This seem to be perfect, but there are certain limitation. So what is the limitation? He could justify his law only up to calcium. Okay, the first limitation is he could justify his law, his sayings only up to calcium. The other elements, the elements after calcium doesn't follow the law of octave. So if it should be universal, any law should be universal, it should be same for all the elements known. Okay, but his law failed in this area. So this was his first limitation. His second limitation is his overconfidence. That is, he considered that no other element will be discovered in the future. There were 56 elements known during his time, so he considered that no other elements will be discovered in future. So he was very adamant about that. So he proposed his law like that only. So when new elements were now we know there are 118 elements. Okay, so when new elements came into existence, they were already there, but they were discovered later. Those element doesn't follow his law. And the third and the important one is your see this table, you can see cobalt and nickel. So cobalt and nickel are in the same slot. So these two have different, we know that cobalt have different atomic mass and nickel have different atomic mass, but he put these two elements in the same slot. So how it is justified? Okay, so this was his third limitation. Clear? The first limitation is that he could justify his law only up to calcium. The elements after calcium doesn't follow his law. Second limitation is that he thought that there are only 56 elements. Okay, he was adamant about that, so he proposed his law like that, and when new elements came into existence, his law failed. Then the third one is that he plot two elements having different atomic mass in the same slot. One of the example you can see is cobalt and nickel. So these three are the limitation of his law. I hope Newland law of octave is clear to you. What is octave? Octave means set of 8 musical notes. So that is the first one, and in music we can see the first note is similar to the 8th note. Okay, so his law also said that every 8 element has properties similar to the first element. So this was his law. We have also learned about the limitations of his work. So I think Newland law of octave is clear to you. So next day we will learn about the Mendeleev periodic table. Okay, thank you.